So ich will hello. Hello world, hello viewers. Subscribe, like, drop a couple comments. Back then, I could see the truth. Those fake people. When I was in the medieval dark ages, I could see them running around everywhere, like in Gotham, but it was less decadent. My accent doesn't sound like I'm from South America, and my grammar doesn't sound like I'm from some country where they don't speak German natively. English, sorry. The point of what I'm saying is that this is quite random, but those people back then that I saw in medieval ages, they were running around. I'm from this time, so I have the spatial reasoning of today. But these people were made from plastic. No one noticed it. No one could see it. Because they were hiding. They were smelling. Everyone who sees something that has two legs and the smelling was believed to be a human. But that was not correct. They are not human. They are machines with machine minds and machine hearts. I retract that. It's not machine hearts. They're not machines. They were mannequins. Moving mannequins. It's like with the birds. They paint them when you don't look. They reload them and they charged batteries. They didn't have batteries. They had batteries, but they didn't have... No. The acid was incredible. But actually, those people, they were running around, they were used to let the people feel like they're in a minority. That was a psychological trick to believe, to make them believe, to trick them into believing stuff that was not correct. And I saw it. People back then didn't realize that. Of course, today that wouldn't work. Or would it? Maybe today it would work because people are staring at their phones, but a few years ago it wouldn't have worked because we have modern spatial reasoning. People back then didn't have this type of perception of reality. They couldn't know that these people, these mannequins, these synthetic surrogates, they weren't real. People didn't have these types of brains. They didn't greet them, they didn't interact with them, and when they wanted to interact with them, some agent of distraction came after them and distracted them with a little of destruction. I know that people back then liked ASMR videos. They liked them like the people in Gotham. And no one did care about them until they put on their banana hats. Maybe they were penguins, assault penguins that they used to reinforce the belief in these mannequins, in what people thought was the truth, but it was not the truth. It was fake. Fake minds with my fake minds and minds. No, not a bit. But the truth is that people back then weren't able to talk so much rubbish. This is why they thought they weren't real. Well, you might ask yourself, how does this make sense? Well, I'll tell you the secret. It doesn't. It's rubbish. Some people would refer to it as BS. BS stands for best service. And no one did care about the facts until I put on my hat. My special hat. My very special hat. And they asked why they were so serious about that. Look, I used the machine, the quantum machine. Don't look at me like this. Don't look at me like this. Don't look at me like I was some crazy sci-fi guy. Don't call everything quantum. I know in sci-fi they call everything quantum and then it's special. But it was a quantum machine, a quantum portal. It quantum teleported me to the quantum realm and then to the quantum past. I'm not referring to that ridiculous thing from the Avengers. I'm referring to the real quantum realm. We were traveling through the ages. We had great music in the spaceship. And then when I took my tranquilizers, I didn't take them. My grammar was already so bad that I didn't take them. I decided to go another way, another direction. Was the sound that I heard when we arrived in the past. So I didn't take the tranquilizers because I had enough. and I realized that you shouldn't take them with drugs and alcohol and stuff. We were in the past, and then we exited the spaceship and we were walking around and we saw that it was the Dark Ages. And we realized that wasn't true. It was the Roman Empire, but a rip-off version of the Roman Empire, not the Roman Empire. It was the Roman Empire, but it wasn't. It's the past before that. It was weird. It was space. We had pre-astronauts, pre-astronautism, I think is what the experts call it. We were there and people were wearing a mask, and metal mask, like the Phantom of the Opera, you know, the guy that wears the mask, and no one did care about him until he put on the mask. And like the character from Bane Man, I think it was called, the movie from Christopher Nolan. People were weird. They did ASMR on their heads, and we realized that we weren't in the Dark Ages. We were in the past. So I'm not from the psychiatry. I didn't fly from the mental asylum. They banned me from there. I was too crazy. I was too serious. I wasn't funny. Not a bit. But then back there they respected me, because I could tell them the truth. I could cut open these mannequins. I could decapitate them and it wasn't murder. Because they were plastic. Medieval plastic, of course. I'm not saying this, I'm not making this up, okay? They actually created these fake people with fake minds and fake hearts to distract the people from the truth, from the actual truth that they weren't in the Dark Ages. That's what they actually did. That's what they actually did. Is what they told me. They said, and one of them were burping, puking. But it was normal, they powered their cars. Yes, they had pre-medieval Dark Age cars. It was sort of like weird. I couldn't explain this. I didn't know if this was true. I hope it was true. And it was true. Vehicles powered by intestines. Magnificent, really weird, very interesting. They actually had vegan intestines. I don't know how they did that. I think they made them from soy, but maybe not. I don't know that exactly. But what I know is that this was not a conspiracy. It was the true altruism of the monks who sold these synthetic bodies to the people to distract them from their alcohol addiction. It's a dictionary, right? The dictionary of addictions. That's so weird. I hope you have a good sleep. I hope you have a good night's sleep, because I can't keep talking like this. I feel like my brain is dissolving or something. My brain's also committing suicide one by one. I mean, I'm usually a gamer, at least I'm trying to be a gamer, but that doesn't, I'm so confused. Okay, so actually I will probably continue the story. I'll probably make more up, yeah. And let's end it. And then I traveled back to the present and I realized that all of these things were a lie made up by a weird guy with a camera, aside of the fact that it wasn't a lie, it was truth, and only a weird guy with a camera pretended that it was a lie. Hell yeah, I really have to clean my brain now. Bye, subscribe please. Back then, in the Dark Ages, they had these creatures running around, surrogates. They weren't real people, they were made from metal and bones and medieval plastic. They didn't look like people, they looked like mannequins. Slightly more realistic than Pamela Anderson. I didn't say that. They looked way more realistic. Those people would today be seen as what they are. Fake. Agents of chaos, of distraction, of lies. Today we would uncover the truth. But back then people didn't have this spatial, three-dimensional reasoning. They couldn't see what they actually were. They couldn't see the truth. People's brains weren't like that back then. They didn't have video games. They couldn't distinguish between a human being. If it had two legs and if it was moving and maybe smelling, then people thought it was a human being. Today we are different. And we see the things more clearly. At least in a visual sense. Oh. Back then people thought they were real, and they used these surrogates to let the people feel like they were not the majority. This is a psychological trick, it's manipulative. They used it to trick the people into believing things that were incorrect. That's the truth. That is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe, like, drop a couple comments. Sorry.
Back then, in the Dark Ages, they had these creatures running around, surrogates. They were real people. They were made from metal, bones, and medieval plastic. They didn't look like people. They looked like mannequins. Slightly more realistic than animals. I didn't say that. They look way more realistic. And those people would today be seen as what they are. Fake. Agents of truth, distraction, lies. Today we would call the truth. But back then people didn't have this space for three-dimensionalism. They couldn't see what they actually were. They couldn't see the truth. People's brains weren't like that back then. They didn't have computers. They couldn't distinguish between a human being. He just had two legs. If he was moving, maybe he was running, then people thought he was a human being. But they were different. We see the things more clearly. At least in a visual sense. But back then people thought they were. But they used the surrogates to let the people feel like they were not the majority. This is psychological trick, it's manipulative. They used it to trick the people into believing things that were incorrect. That's the truth. That is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. They're supposed to be. But it wasn't the beginning of that ages. I could see them running around everywhere, and I could love them, but it was different. My accent doesn't sound like I'm from something like that. My grammar doesn't sound like I'm from some country level. That's speak German sorry. The point of what I'm saying is that this is correct, but there's people back then that I'm sorry, they don't notice. But I like that. I'm from this side, so we have the social reason today. But these people are made from plastic. No one noticed this. No one could see it. Because they were hungry. They were stunned. Everyone must see something that has two legs. This man was human. But it was not correct. They are not human. They are machines. They have machine minds, machine hearts. I retract that. It's not machine hearts. They're not machines. They are mentals. Movement mentals. Sexually. Study the verbs. Paint them when you don't look. They wrote them and they charged batteries. They didn't have batteries. They had batteries, but they didn't have them. Now, the essence wasn't credible. But actually, that's true. They were not going to use to make people feel like they're a minority. It was a psychological trick to believe. To make them believe. To trick them to believe this. But it wasn't correct. Now I thought, people back then didn't realize that. Of course, today it wouldn't work. Or would it? Maybe today it would work because people are staring at their phones. But invisible wouldn't have worked because we have modern features. People back then didn't have this type of perception of reality. They couldn't know. But these people, these manipulates, these speculative surveys, weren't real. People didn't make these patterns. They didn't read them. They didn't make them. And when they got to that, some agent of distraction came out with them and disrupted them. They were distraction. In order to prevent them, like ASMR videos. They like them like the people in your phone. No one thought of them. They took on their banana heads. Many of their opinions, assault techniques that they used to reinforce the belief in these mannequins. What people thought was the truth, but it was not the truth. It was fake. Fake minds, just fake minds, minds. No, not at all. But the truth is that people back then weren't able to tell us what worked. This is why people well, you might ask yourself, how does this make sense? Well, I'll tell you something. It has to. It's rubbish. The people who could probably BS. BS stands for best service. And no one care about defense until I put on my hat. Especially that. Especially that. Then also one of us is serious. It's really good. I use the machine, the quantum machine. Don't look at me like this. Don't look at me like this. Don't look at me like I was some alien sci-fi guy. Don't call everything quantum. I know sci-fi can call everything quantum, that's special. But it was a quantum machine, quantum portaloid. Quantum teleported into the quantum realm into the quantum past. I'm not referring to the ridiculous thing for the elections. I'm referring to the real quantum realm. We've been creating 3 ages. We have great music in the spaceship. And then my tranquilizers, talking to the dictator. My grandma was always a bad thinking. I decided to go was the sound I heard when we arrived. So I did take tranquilizers, because I had enough. And I realized that we should take them drugs. We ran it past it. Then we exited the spaceship and we were walking around and we saw that it wasn't outrageous. And we realized it wasn't true. It was the Roman Empire. But the ripples version of the Roman Empire, not the Roman Empire. It was the Roman Empire, but it was past before it. It was weird. It was space. It was, we had pre-astronautism. I think it's the experts call it. We were there and people were wearing a mask. And metal masks, like the Phantom of the Opera. You know, the guy who wears the mask from all the characters. Like the characters from Bane. I think it was called the movie from Christopher Nolan. People were weird and they did ASMR on their heads. We realized that we were in the dark ages. We were the past. So I'm not from the psychiatry. I was from the mental asylum. They banned me from there. I was too crazy. I was too serious. I was trying not big. But then they respected me because I could tell them the truth. I could cut open these meetings. I could intimidate them and there wasn't none. Because they were blessed with video plastic, of course. I'm not saying this, I'm making this up, okay? They actually created these fake people with fake minds and fake hearts to distract the people from the truth, from the actual truth that they were in the ages. It's what they actually did. It's what they actually did. It's what they told me. Is that none of them were puke. But it was normal, they powered their cars, they had truly being without each cars. I was so deluded, I couldn't explain this. I didn't know if this was true. I hope it was true. And it was true. Villages powered by intestines. But it was very, very weird, kind of interesting. Yeah, actually eating intestines, I don't know how they did that. I think they made them from soy, but maybe not. I don't know exactly. What I know is that this was not a conspiracy. It was the true altruism of the monks who sold these satanic bodies to the people to distract them from their alcohol addiction. It's a dictionary, right? The dictionary of addictions. That's so weird. I hope you have a good sleep. I hope you have a good night's sleep because I can't keep talking like this. I feel like my brain is something. My brain sounds like committing suicide. I mean, I'm really a gamer. I'm trying to be a gamer, but that doesn't matter. So confusing. Okay, so actually I will probably continue the story. I'll probably make it more up here. That's the other thing. And then I chose back to the present and I realized that all of these things were a lie made up by a weird guy with a camera. Besides the fact that it wasn't a lie, it was true. And only the weird guy with a camera pretended that it was a lie. Oh yeah, I really have to pee my brain now. Bye, subscribe, please.